Is running. Hi everyone, I'm TigerHawk3, and today we're going to do some more Django stuff. We're going to write a form, and then change some views around to use generic views. I'm not quite sure what they mean by that, but we will see later. We're going to update our poll detail template to be a little nicer, I guess. And we're going to put a form element. Okay. We have the question text still. If error message, then put in an error message. Okay. So now we will have a form. I'm just gonna dump the whole thing in. Polls, templates, polls, detail. Okay. So we have an error message if necessary. Now we have a form over here. The action is we're going to get the URL polls vote with the question ID. A form that can post data to the server. Okay. And for each choice we have, we're going to have a radio button with a choice. Oh, for loop has a counter. I guess this is when you have a for, it implicitly creates a counter, I suppose. That's my guess. So automatically enumerates all the questions. Label for equals choice number something with the choice, and it'll have that label. Okay. And the input type is submit, because we want to submit our choices for this form, for this poll. Okay. Oh, it explains. The above template displays a radio button for each question choice. The value of each one is the associated question choice's ID. The name of each radio button is choice. When someone picks a radio button and submits, it sends choice equal number to the form. The action is this. Where you go? This is the action. Method post. Okay. Because this is sending data to the server. Whenever you create a form that alters data server side, use method equals post. Okay. And for loop.counter is just the counter for this current loop. Since we're creating a post form which can modify data, we need to worry about cross-site request forgeries. Okay. Django comes with a system to protect against that. All post forms that are targeted at internal URLs should use the CSRF token template tag. Where was that? Did we see that somewhere? Here we are. CSRF token. So this is to protect against a security vulnerability. Great. Let's create a view that handles the submitted data and does something with it. We created a URL conf for the polls application that includes this line, polls URLs. I want polls URLs, yes. That includes question ID 0 through 9 / vote. So we created this last time. And a dummy implementation of the vote function. And that was in views, I think. Yes, vote. And it just says you're voting on question whatever. So it's just a string that says you voted, but doesn't actually count anything up or anything. Let's create a real version. Add this to views.py. We need from Django.shortcuts render and get object or 404. Django.http, we need HTTP response and HTTP response redirect. Okay. And from Django.urls import reverse. Okay. The Python built-in function that reverses sequences is reversed with a D at the end, kind of like sorted. So this won't mask that. That's good. Import question and choice as well. Very good. Okay. Is this used? I don't think so. We'll leave it there for now. So vote is going to be with a request and a question ID. Good. Okay, we're gonna have stuff here. There's actually a lot, so I'm just gonna drop it in. All right. We're going to have a question, and that is we're going to get object or 404. This is similar to looking at the detail for a question. So we're going to first get that, and if it doesn't exist, we just produce an error that the browser can understand. And then, assuming we get this, we're going to try to get the choice of request.post. What is this? A few things that we haven't covered yet. Yes, request.post is a dictionary-like object that lets you access submitted data by key name. Oh, okay. And remember, we had a bunch of, not a bunch, but we had things with name of choice. And so this this name is going to match, where'd it go? Views. That choice is going to match this over here. So we're looking up something with the name of choice. And it returns the ID of the selected choice as a string. They're always strings. If choice wasn't provided in post data, it will raise a key error. Okay. And this checks for a key error and redisplay the question voting form. Okay. So that just re-renders the form with an error message. Error message. And error message. If there is one, it will be displayed there. Cool. It increments the choice count and then returns an HTTP response redirect. Prevents data from being posted twice if you hit back. I'm sure you've seen some web forms that say, web forms including like shopping carts and stuff, that say only click once. If you double click, your order will be submitted twice. Or don't use the back button in your browser, only this special link that goes back, etc. So this guards against that. That's good. Let's see. You should always return an HTTP response redirect after dealing with post data. Okay. We're using the reverse function in the HTTP response redirect because now we don't have to hard code a URL over here. Oh, this just Instead of writing out a URL, we use the reverse function, and that constructs it for us, I guess. Given the name of the view and the variable portion of the URL pattern. Great. And this will return a string like /polls/3/results/ without us having to build that ourselves. Okay, request is an HTTP request object, yes. After somebody votes, the vote view redirects to the results page for the question. Let's write that view. Results. So we're going to do this sort of thing again. Get object or question npk equals question ID. Very good. And then instead of this, we're going to return a render of the request and polls/results.html and the dictionary of question being the question. Okay. Great. Almost exactly the same as the detail view. That's very true. The only difference is the template name. We'll fix this redundancy later. That's the refactoring that we'll do. Polls/results.html. Okay. Templates, polls. We have a detail and we have an index. Let's make something else. Results.html. Yes, change, very good. And let's edit it. Cool. New template. Let's pop that in, shall we? So we have our header with the question. We loop through all the question choices, and then each one gets a list item of the choice text and the choice votes. Oh, pluralize. I guess this automatically says votes if we have more than one, rather than one vote, 2 votes. And etc. Vote again. Okay. Now go to /polls/1 in your browser. I have to start the server. Py-manage.py run server. Is it going? I think. Should be doing that. Alright. Let's just copy this. Go into there. Actually, let's do that. Very good. Oh, I don't have an index. That's right. Okay, so let me show you this. And that means going to, where to go? Right here? Alright. Very good. There's the window. Cool. So I need to go to polls. There's the what's new, and this will take us to polls/1, where it tells us to go, and it tells us to vote on the question. These are the things we made last time before that. You should see a results page that gets updated each time you vote. If you submit the form without having chosen a choice, you should see the error message. Let's vote. You didn't select a choice. Indeed. Not much. And vote. And that has one vote. Let's go back and vote again. Oh, has 2 votes. I thought we protected against going back. That's odd. Didn't we do something about that? This prevents data from being posted twice if a user hits the back button. 3 votes. Okay. Well, I did have to click vote again. Maybe that's the thing. How about if we go back and forth? Still 3? I don't know. I thought I would just entirely not be able to vote again, but I guess vote again is just going back to the question, and I can vote for the sky. Okay, that's fine. That's cool. That's our website so far. Use generic views. Less code is better. That's right. Do you know how much time it takes to debug code that doesn't exist? None. The detail from tutorial 3 and results views are very simple, and as mentioned above, redundant. The index view, which displays a list of polls, is similar. These views represent a common case of basic web development, getting data from the database according to a parameter, loading a template, and returning the render template. This is a common task, and there's a shortcut. Generic views. So these are common patterns that they kind of give us, and we don't have to write any code to write an app. Interesting. Let's convert our poll app to use the generic views system so we can delete a bunch of our own code. Great. We'll have to take a few steps, and there they are. First, convert the URL conf, and that's URLs. And then we will delete some of the old unneeded views and introduce new ones based on Django's generic views. Okay. Sounds good to me. First we're going to urls.py, that's where we are, and change it like so. Import URL from .import views. We have our app name and our URL patterns. We have views dot. Now this is different. Instead of index with the name of index, we have views dot indexed view dot as view. Okay. And then we will have. Oh, this is different as well. Question mark p pk 0 through 9 plus, and then the end thing. Views dot, this is a detail view dot as view, same name, and then we also change this to pk slash results. Very good. And this is a results view dot as view, can't forget that. And then this is probably a vote view. No? Views.vote. They don't have a shortcut for that. Okay then. Okay. Oh, and this should still be question ID for this one. Alright. The name of the matched pattern in the regexes of the second and third patterns has changed from question ID to PK. That's right. Next, we're going to remove our old index, detail, and results views and use Django's generic views instead. So we're going to go to polls views.py, Make sure I have the right imports still. Oh, we're not going to be doing any... Oh, we don't have any HTTP response. Okay. Reverse. Choice and question. And we don't use that either, huh? Let's change this to the new thing. From Django.views, import generic. Okay. Oh, now we want a class. Alright. I'm gonna drop all these classes in here. So we have new classes of index view, and this is what we're calling over here, I guess, index view.adds view, and they inherit from generic list view and generic detail view with a couple changes. Just have our template name and our context object name. Okay. Get query set, and that's going to return the 5 newest questions, right? Detail view model equals question. All right. Don't know how useful that is. And a template name. Model and template name. Index. These are supposed to be the same. Okay. No changes needed to the rest of the stuff. But this will eliminate the need for the index detail and results views. Oh. Oh, all I need is vote? Okay. Because these are pretty much the same. So off they go. Neat. We're using 2 generic views here. That's the list view and detail view. Detail and list view. Detail view. Where's the list view? Ah, over here. List, detail, and detail. Very good. The list view is a template to display a list of objects, and detail view is display a detail page for a particular type of object. Okay? Each generic view needs to know what model it will be acting upon, and that's the model attribute over here. Need to know what model, yes. The detail view, generic view, expects the primary key value captured from the URL to be called PK. So that's why we need that. Alright, it's just expecting that. The detail view, generic view uses a template called whatever your app name is, / whatever your model name is, _ detail.html. So that would be polls / question detail.html. The template name attribute is used to tell Django to use a specific template name instead of the auto-generated default. Template name, so this is use this particular template for our application. We specify the template name for the results list view. This ensures that the results view and the detail view have a different appearance when rendered, even though they're both a detail view. So this is to give us a different template for the detail view and the results views. Model name _ list.html. We're going to use template name over here to tell list view to use our existing polls / index.html template. Okay. In previous parts of the tutorial, the templates have been provided with a context that contains the question and latest question list context variables. For detail view, the question variables provided automatically. There's a lot of stuff here. Django determines an appropriate name for the context variable, but for list view, the automatically generated context variable is question list. Context object name. So we don't want that. We want latest question list, which we override over here with this attribute. So I suppose these classes already have their own default template name and context object name, and so this is just giving them a different one specific to our application. As an alternative approach, you could change your templates to match the new default context variables, but it's easier to just tell Django to use yours. Run the server and use your new polling app based on generic views. For full details here, when you're comfortable, part 5. So let's go and do that. Oh, I see. Module object has no attribute index. Uh-oh. That's bad. Did I forget to save? Save. How about now? That looks better. That looks a lot better. Try again. Alright. I kind of broke the server. That's okay. By not saving. Okay. Let's go to results. Can we do that? So of 3 and 1. Let's vote again. Let's vote on the sky. Now that has 2 votes. Oops. This. There we go. Vote again. Not much. And there you go. So, cool. And now it's using our generic views. So, instead of the index, detail, and results, instead of having separate things for that all look pretty much the same, almost, we're using these generic ones. Great. Is there anything else? That's the end of this section of the tutorial, of this part, I mean. How many parts are there, I wonder? Probably a bunch. Oh, part 5 is introducing automated testing. That's probably large. Yep, that's a big one. Writing tests, running tests, more comprehensive tests, test view, test client, improving our view, testing our new view. Wow, that's a lot of stuff. Testing the detail view. When testing, more is better. Further testing. That's a lot. Wow. The next part is the app's look and feel, and it's very short. Background image. Well, I think we will leave the testing for next time, because it looks like one of those things that's going to take a couple hours. But half an hour is fine, I think. So, I think I will call the stream there. Because it looks good to me. We have our server running, doing what it's supposed to do, generic views. Yeah. So these votes should be stored on the server. Let me actually end that and then run it again. And let me go to here with this, and let me say not much and vote. It recorded our previous ones because they are saved in a database that we created. So that's great. Alright, thanks for joining me, and I hope you enjoyed the stream and learning about generic views and seeing the poll actually work and do stuff. And tomorrow game, day after that, Django. Thanks again, and I will see you next time. Have a good one.